Hi, my name is Rakesh Kumar Dwan and I am from Sambalpur, Odisha. I did my MBA from IIT Kharagpur and I graduated in the year 2016. In the campus, I was always open about my sexual orientation. The reaction of my friends was fairly positive, and my professors also knew about me and they were also very supportive about it. I was one of the co-founders of IIT Kharagpur's first LGBT support group known as Amber. We organized a lot of events like guest lectures and film festivals around the topic of gender and sexuality, which was a huge success and which led to the popularity of Amber in a very short period of time. In IIT Kharagpur, Springfest is organized, which is one of the largest cultural festivals in Asia, and we conducted a social experiment in the fest in which I went around the campus with a placard saying, "I am gay, will you hug me?" And the experiment was a huge success and it created a lot of buzz in social media. So I would say that the reaction of me being gay in the campus was fairly positive. While the reaction of my friends to me being gay has fairly been positive throughout my life, the same is not for my parents. They think that being gay is a crime because of Section 377. So it was important for me to be a part of this petition because I do not want to be a criminal in the minds of my parents, and also I do not want to live under the constant fear of police, judgment or harassment throughout my life. Freedom should be in our minds, and until this draconian law is struck down, we, being members of the LGBTQ community, are not really free.
Dear Logical Indian community members, the fight against Section 377 of IPC has been very long and tedious. Today, as we move forward in the struggle to be regarded as fully human in the eyes of the law and the society, it is very important to remember that rights are only rights if everybody has access to them. Just because more of us are heterosexual, it doesn't mean it's normal. This issue is such a big thing. How is it possible that it doesn't affect or touch you and me? Let us begin opening our hearts to LGBTQ community. I'm Farah Kader, I'm an Indian, and I will not forget that India stands for equality.
Okay. We are restless, but we are also enthusiastic about change. My name is Tanveen Kaur Randhawa. I am from the 2015 batch of IIT Roorkee. Being from an LGBT community on campus means feeling like an anomaly. You see the world with a different lens as you perceive people, love and relationship differently. When people think of straight couples, they usually associate it with love till eternity, and intimacy, and adorn it with laws. But when it comes to LGBT couples, it suddenly loses all sensitivity and becomes all about sex. Campus is no different from any other place. There is a vacuum of silence and shame about sexuality, and in some extreme cases of it is also about abuse and helplessness. Homophobia, I feel, lurks around in the minds of a majority of people, and it is exposed only when people find someone to target it on. One of my LGBT friends was harassed within the very boundaries of the campus for being gay. Section 377 gets scrapped. Besides, we wish that more people from the LGBTQ community get the strength to come out, are accepted and treated as equal, and that no one has to suffer in silence for who they are. The LGBTQ cannot change themselves. It is like expecting an obligate carnivore like lion to feed on grass just because you associate morality with vegetarianism. It is simply against our nature. However, the society can change itself, and the change has to be psychological. We often hate or fear what we cannot understand, but in the process, we might end up risking the lives of our own sons, daughters, friends, relatives, just because we fail to understand them. Martin Luther King Jr. Once said that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And I believe that for most of us, our lives have just begun.
Members, I'm Devottam. I'm pursuing my PhD in IIT Delhi under Humanities and Social Sciences Department. I've been part of the petition. I've been the part of the 20 league petitioners, which is going on in the Supreme Court against scrapping Section 377.
So the first question is, how did the idea of the petition come up?
Well, the idea of the petition came particularly, so we had a group called Pravriti, which is a virtual Facebook group. The queer persons from different IITs are also being part of that particular group. It's like the 400, it's now presently the 400 population group. So I think in April 2018, we, in the context of, the two verdicts that came before that, the verdict on right to privacy, as well as the right to choose your partner. So when there's this entire debate that was going on about scrapping Section 377, we also within the group also started to discuss about it. And at that particular moment, the person called Anand Vasudevan, he approached all of us to think about it and to put a petition from IITs, because IITs are one of the premium institutes in India, and so that was the entire idea behind to put this particular petition. Personally, there was this also an incident that happened which actually made me to be the part of the petition. It was in January 2018. There was an incident of extortion that happened with me, and I was literally threatened to by the person that he asked me to that he's going to kill me if I don't give him money and all. So I think at that particular time, I realized that being a queer person in a country like India, it's so important for us to really voice our own expressions, the kind of violences the everyday violences that we go through. So this was a particular context in which this petition came.
So why are you being a part of the petition?
Yeah, so as I was saying, that this entire incident of extortion, which actually led me to be the part of that particular petition, as well as if you go through, the nature of these petitions, you also get to see the kind of testimonies that these queer persons have actually expressed, and sort of, it's a kind of this the scrapping Section 377 also had to do with the fact that it's against the human dignity. It's against something. Sexuality is something core to your own existence. So we need a country where we would be allowed to express our own sexual desires, our own sexual expressions, our own sexual orientation. So these are the particular themes that went into my mind and which actually influenced me to be the part of the particular petition.
Okay. So how do you look at the queer space in a campus like IIT Delhi?
In that case, I just have to give a brief overview how I got to know about the queer space in IIT Delhi. So when I was doing my master's from JNU, so we used to hold different queer meetings. So the queer meetings include different persons from different institutes, universities across Delhi, and from where I got to know about Indradhanu, which was an informal queer group in IIT Delhi. So these people used to talk about the kind of struggle that they had to go through in order to negotiate with administration to raise their causes as being a part of a particular queer community in the campus. So I would say, I think, particularly in post Delhi High Court's verdict, even though they were not in a very better position, but at least they also had a hold to negotiate with the administration, and they could arrange different kind of workshops, programs in the campus. But after the Supreme Court's overturn of Section 377, all these spaces got to cease. And I think in a campus like IIT Delhi, you need these spaces because, as I've also told before, that the major chunk of the students actually come from a particular age group of 18 and 19. This is a particular crucial age group when people start to explore their sexualities in different ways. So I think in a campus like IIT, we need these square spaces, though it has been seized. And I am really hoping that as soon as we are going to get a positive verdict from the Supreme Court, we will again revive the kind of the space which has got lost, in past few years.
Okay. What are you expecting from the verdict of Supreme Court?
Well, I'd say there are lots of expectations. By being part of the proceedings, I could say I got quite a positive response from the panel. But what I'm really looking forward to really understand what would be the language of the verdict. That's more important because if you remember, the Delhi High Court's verdict came altogether in a different time frame. And the kind of time frame that we are being part of now, it's altogether a different time frame. So on one hand, you have this entire sort of very interesting verdicts by Supreme Court on right to privacy, right to choose your partner, and all those things. But as well as we are also belonging to a particular socio-political scenario where there is an everyday affair of lynching, everyday affair of violence on different forms of minorities in this country. So I think what I'm really looking forward in this particular verdict would have to do with the kind of language that this panel is going to use. How they're going to address the issues like violence, how they're going to address the issues like discrimination, stigma, trauma, mental health, and all those things. So I'm quite hopeful. So let's see how this goes.
Thank you,
Thank
Divya.
you.